So this is the follow-up video from the first video about 20-inch barrel versus the 28-inch or 30-inch barrel. So again, we're going to be shooting the Adler 20-inch lever action, and I've got the 30-inch in this Adler, both smooth bore. We've moved back to 60 yards this time, and I've doubled up the paper to see the pattern a bit clearer when it spreads out, if it does. Go back to using the Champion 7.5 inch in 2 3/4 or 2.5 inch shell again, and we'll do another back-to-back comparison. So this is the modified choke in the Adler 30-inch. Yeah, it seems to be centered here, fairly well spread out, but there's large holes here. You probably can't pick it up in the camera. Bit of a hole there, hole all up there, hole in here. Fairly well spread out. I don't know if we're going to be able to pick a difference between them, but we'll see how we go. Now I've gone to the Adler again with a modified choke in the 20-inch. Just to note, since last time, I videoed, I've removed the 1x40 red dot sight, and I found these sights on eBay with the fluoro glow in the dark sticks, and they're actually pop up, so you can actually sight them in over a longer distance. I suppose a lot of the Yanks use them for their fully semi-automatic M16s, AR-15s I should say. Anyway, I just thought I'd give these a try. They're a little bit lower, they're not as bulky when you're walking around with it, but I haven't actually shot with it yet, so we'll see how it goes. Anyway, so modified choke, back to the 7.5 shot at 60 yards. So this is the Adler modified choke, 60 yards with 7.5 shot, and there is probably maybe a slight difference. There seems to be a bit of a hole in here, a bit of a hole down here, hole down here, hole through here. Seems to be slightly more spread out. Maybe I'll have to lay the two targets down next to each other to confirm that. Just to show you too, as we're setting up for the next target, there's one of the 7.5 shot pellets. That was actually from the first shot with the Adler 30-inch. So there you go. Not very good. So instead of changing chokes this time, we're just going to stick with a modified choke, as that seems to be a choke that a lot of people do hunt with, and see what it's doing at 60 yards. So all I'm going to change this time is the shell. We're going to go to a number 4, and it's another 2 3/4 shell. So this is an Adler 30-inch modified choke, 60 yards, number 4. So the Adler modified choke, number 4, 60 yards. Don't know if you can pick that up, the holes might be getting a bit bigger than the 7.5, but we've again got holes in the pattern. We'll see what the Adler. So this one's the modified choke in the Adler 20-inch, 60 yards with number 4. So here's the Adler 20-inch modified choke number 4, 60 yards. Actually a large noticeable difference on these number 4s. Fairly surprising. It has shot a bit low, but you can see a couple up here. The majority are down here, but there's just a huge hole here, huge hole through here, another hole here, hole in the center here. So there's fairly big difference there. So due to the large holes in the pattern and the large spread at 60 yards with a modified choke, we've changed it out to the full choke, and this time we've just stuck with number 4. So number 4 changed over to full choke and staying at 60 yards. So this is the Adler modified choke, number 4, 60 yards, and yeah, much tighter, much better pattern. And this time we put a cat on there just to show you what it would do. There's still a hole up here, pretty big hole through here, down here, over here, but definitely got the target and got a few more shots on centre mass. So that last video, I think I said it was the Adler, I think I said modified choke instead of full choke, so sorry, that was the full choke at 60 yards, number 4. 20-inch, number 4, full choke, 60 yards. So this one's the Adler 20-inch, full choke, number 4, 60 yards. Very spread out. And on our cat this time, we got 1, 2, 3, another one up here, another one down here. So right there, you know, you see they're much more spread out. Hole up here, hole down here, hole down here, another hole over here, but other than that they're a little bit more spread out. But generally not massively different, but it is different. So guys, here's a bit of a recap from yesterday's 60-yard comparison. On the left is the Adler in 30-inch, on the right's the Adler. So this is the 60-yard modified choke with 7.5 shot. I'm sorry if you can't pick it up in this light on this paper, but basically the Adler 30-inch barrel had quite an even spread. They're nicely peppered out throughout the whole thing. Whereas the Adler, they are spread out. They're a little bit more spread out and seem to be bunched together with patches in between. And you can probably see there where I've circled where there are some more larger holes in the pattern. But other than that, you can probably pick up there, slight hole there, but not too bad. So that was the modified 7.5. So this one's the start off with the Adler, and this is a modified choke with number 4 shot at 60 yards. Might be able to see the dots, the pattern a little bit better, but you can see where I've circled those two big patches in the middle. There's still some large holes in the pattern, but otherwise it is fairly well spread. It has lost in that top corner. Now this this is the Adler 20-inch barrel modified number 4, 60 yards, and obviously there's a big difference, but to be honest with you, I think I stuffed up because I've got those new sights on it. I think despite still trying to aim a little bit high on the paper, I didn't aim high enough, so I either need to try to adjust those sights or see what else I can do about them. But yeah, this is it's come in quite low. Where I've made the arc there, that's mainly where the majority of it is, and you can still see there's massive holes in it everywhere. So despite not really being in, and you can see up the top here there is still a few flyers up there, so despite not really being in the center of the papers, the pattern where the majority of it is still got some massive holes in the pattern, so that's not the best. I'm a bit surprised. So anyway, that was number 4 modified choke, 60 yards. So this one here is the Adler. We changed out to the full choke using number 4 shot at 60 yards. You can see there's actually some pretty large holes in the pattern, even with the full choke, but we definitely got quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on poor old Puss. Even though, you know, there's still large holes, there's still quite a few on centre mass. And when we come over to the the Adler full choke number 4, 60 yards, you know, both got fairly large holes in the pattern, but you know, here, there's significantly fewer on centre mass, where I did have the cat target, as you probably saw in the earlier clip, for this one, but I've left it at home. Didn't bring it away with me to show you where the holes were the same as that one, but you can. It's pretty obvious there's a lot more holes in the centre of that paper than there is in this one due to that large hole in the pattern. But you know, there's a few down through here and around it. So yeah, I mean, even with the 30-inch, the full choke, there's still holes in the pattern. It's not like it's like, yeah, massive difference, except for there is a lot more in the centre. Again, I've overcompensated and gone a bit high on this one because I haven't quite got the sights right, so that might be my fault. I might need to sight it properly with those sights and get me eye line right, and then try it again, which, you know, I might do that video later if I work out what's going on. But, you know, still similar holes in the patterns. So yeah, anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Hope you get something out of it. Cheers, guys.